Take the first word, for example, healing. Let me tell you right off, healing is not what the average person think it is. Healing is not really making the sick well. Healing is really the process of coming to the realization that from the beginning you were made whole. Because in the process of healing, you realize that your sickness may be a fact, but it's not the truth. I want to run this by you again. Healing is not making the sick well. Healing is the process of realizing that from the beginning you were made whole, and that this original wholeness, this original holiness is also the eternal truth of you. Healing is the process of realizing that you are originally and eternally whole. What happens in healing is that you have a change of consciousness. When you were sick, you were self-conscious of illness. But when you became healed, you became aware of your original eternal wholeness. And it began to manifest. In other words, the Word began to manifest. The Word from the beginning. You see, the Word is the image of God in man mind. So repeat this after me. The Word is the image of God in man, in mind. I'm going to say it many different ways. Healing is the process of realizing your original estate. The Bible says that in the beginning God made man how? In his own image and in his own likeness. And so the Word is the image of God in your mind. And the image of God is what? Whole. But man, a mind, forgot his original wholeness, his original holiness, his original completeness, his original richness. Forgot the Word, forgot the image of God that God put into him and made him in the image and likeness of. And in fact became sick. But in the healing process, you hear the Word again, and you are brought back to where you began. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. For a moment, let me remind you of the healing of the man at the pool. The Bible says after he was healed, Jesus met him where? In the temple. And said to him, "Behold, thou art made whole." Now the theologians take that to mean that the sick man was made well. On the level of facts, it looks that way, but it's not that. Jesus was announcing the man's original wholeness from the beginning. In other words, you're saying to him, in the beginning, God made you whole. Now, see this. And sin no more. And what is the sin? The sin is seeing yourself separated from God. The sin is seeing yourself unlike God. Because God made you in his own image and likeness in the beginning. And so the sin is what? Seeing yourself separated from God. Seeing yourself unlike God. Seeing some other image of yourself except the God image. That's the sin. That's the only sin there is. That's why we are told, behold the Lamb. Say that, behold the Lamb. You see, that's the purity of God. That's the wholeness of God. Good, love, spirit. Behold, you are made whole. So to every one of us, I want you to take this truth with you. You are made whole. That's the truth. I'm going to say this regardless of what the Orthodox people think. I don't think. I love what Mary Baker Eddy is reported to have said as her last words before passing on. She reportedly said as her last words, God is my life. What a way to go. What a way to go. What is that? That's the truth. That's the original truth of me. In a few moments, in a few minutes, I may have left this body. But that has nothing to do with the truth that God is my life. Regardless of what they do with this body that I leave, God is my life. And I have another building, eternal in the heavens. You see, I have an eternal estate that is not touched by time or facts. God is my life. That's my favorite healing affirmation is this one. God is my health. Say that. God is my health. Say that again. God is my health. The third time. God is my health. And that ought to be your word that you keep in your heart and that you affirm in your heart every day. So healing is really the realization that you are made whole from the beginning. You see, you are cut from the perfect pattern. May not look like it. You may not act like it. You may not talk like it. That's why you experience otherness. But you are cut from a perfect pattern. That's why Jesus said, be you therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Not another human religious perfection. The religious perfectionists miss it because they try to make another perfection. You cannot be perfect apart from God. You can't be anything apart from God because there is nothing apart from God. See, that's the illusion that is called the devil. And it is that illusion that torments you. Healing all lameness of man, of mind. You see, the text that is going to be read in just a few moments is about a lame man being healed. That's exoterically. But esoterically, it is the lameness of mind that is being healed. It is a partiality of mind that is being made whole. It is a disability of the mind that is being made able. It is a poor man that we're going to read about in the text also, because this man sat at the beautiful gate. He couldn't get any further. Why? Because he had not activated his faculties of faith and love. See, you've read that 3rd chapter of Acts for years and years and years. They never told you this. Why was the man lame? And what is it that causes a man or a mind to be lame? Failure to activate the spiritual faculties of faith and love. Where's that course on the 12 disciples? By Rev Ike. You see, the 12 disciples in the Bible are really 12 spiritual faculties of man, of mind. But there are 2 of these faculties which, if you do not activate them and nourish them and strengthen them, you will not be able to enter into the beautiful gate, and you will always be lame, disabled, poor, and dependent upon materiality.